Okay. Okay, Miss Seha, she has a technical problem. Okay, maybe his laptop or his her signal, yeah. Okay, so we can wait for her to join us later. Okay, maybe we can start now. Can we start now?
We
For
should
the
start now.
presentation. Udah siap kan? Santai saja. Oh, Mr. Ahmad. Mr. Ahmad, where is Mr. Ahmad?
Nanti siang ya, Dek ya.
So where is Mr. Ahmad? Tapi Mr. Ahmad ini ya nanti hadir ya, mungkin nyusul ya.
Hadir.
Alright, okay. So kita mulai saja. Saya buka dulu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, good morning everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you
Good
for
morning, ma'am.
class. Okay, welcome to our class. This morning we will have our presentation for English course, and you can share your ideas or your opinion about your research or your concerning. Yeah. All right. Today we have six speaker, and you will be speaker and moderator. And I hope this seminar or this mini seminar will run well. Okay. And thank you. Okay. For moderator, please time for you. Your time is yours to be a moderator and to be a speaker. Okay. The session 1 ya ini ya. Session 1, Mr. Ubed and Mr. Sahrul. Okay, please. The floor is yours or the room is yours. Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Fitri. Yes, it's my pleasure to be host of this conference. I think will be interesting seminar. We will have some good speakers in this forum. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself. Please let me introduce myself. I am Ubaid Abdullah and will be host in the first sessions. I'm glad to be here and very happy to have speakers. Everyone I think will come with the great ideas, and we will have having share knowledge and share the ideas from many part of the field, I guess. Well, for the first sessions, we have Mr. Sahrul, who will present the topic on the Islamizations of science integrated with our paradigm model. Yeah, everyone will have time for questions later after the presentation, and for this time I will let Mr. Shahrul to present the topic, and the time is yours. You have only 10 minutes to present your topic, and then I will open the questions for the participant. Please, Mr. Shahrul, time is yours.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I will presentation with my topic or my research, and I will share screen. Okay, but look. Okay. Okay, but before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Syahrul Ramadan. I'm from Surabaya, and I will present my paper about Islamization of science and Islamization of science in Islamic State University Sunan Ampel, Surabaya, in para integrated twin tower paradigm model. Okay, I'm very interested and I'm glad to be here today. Okay, first I will talk my first point, why I start present, why Islamization of science, why we need Islamization of science, or why Islamic State University Sunan Ampel, Surabaya need Islamization of science paradigm. Because Islamic State Institute changed or transformed to Islamic State University. So Islamic State University, or UIN, formerly known as the Islamic State Institute, or IAIN. In the process of change its name with construction of the paradigm of integrated twin tower, two tower and twin tower, which symbol twin tower building. So paradigm Islamization of science paradigm is twin tower with with symbol twin tower. What is twin tower paradigm? The twin tower paradigm is two building about religion, science, and general science. So, the twin tower paradigm does not only on the concept of Islamization of science at all, but dialogue. It's not Islamization of science, but dialogue between religion science and general science. So when Surabaya developed a scientific paradigm with the integrated twin tower model epistem. Okay, when Surabaya built a scientific structure that allow religious science and general science well developed and both have the same authority. So yes. Nah, because transform from EIN to UIN, so UIN needs not only religious science, but add with general science in university. So this paradigm is dialogue, is not intervention. So two science, religious science and general science is not intervention. Religious Islamic science intervention to religious to general science, no, but dialogue between two paradigm or two science. So, but have the same authority so that they do not feel superior or inferior to each other. Islamic science develop in its capacity and develop possibility as well as other science, social science, natural science, humanity science also develop in their range and capacity too. So I come to end of my speech or presentation. The integrated twin tower model was built to welcome the change of EIN to Winchester. Is this is to sum up my paper. In this model, religious and general scientific position are not mixed into one. Not mixed into one, but also not allowed to run alone, and at certain times are work together for dialogue. But so not mixed into one, but dialogue between Islamic sense with general science, social science, humanity science, and natural science. So that religious scholarship does not intend to intervene in general science because general science is considered already established. So I come to the end of my point. Islamization of science paradigm integrated twin tower paradigm model is Islamization of mind, not Islamization of science. So mind, ratio, akal, rational, Islamization of reason, not Islamization of science, because religious science and general science is not interference between two these science, but dialogue between religious science and general science. So from this dialogue, create new science is example Islamic studies and social studies. So create sociology, Islamic sociology. Yes, example Islamic studies and sociology studies create to science dialogue and create new science is sociology, Islamic sociology, anthropology and Islamic studies, Islamic anthropology. So, okay, maybe just this present, and thank you for attention. So
Well,
thank you.
thank you very much, Mr. Shahrul. I think it's
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate what you present, your presentations. Let's give him applause. Thank you very much.
Yay!
And the time is, I think, is on the track. Yeah, 10 minutes is over. And then I think I have some points from the presentation of Mr. Shahrul. The idea of Islamization is not interventions, yeah, but it's a dialogue. Yeah, there's dialogue rather than intervention. Okay. I think also you have some point. I think so. So you will have the opportunity to make comments or any questions, please. And I think 2 minutes for questions and answer. Please, everyone, if you have some question or comment, please come.
Yeah, may I ask one question to Mr. Sarul?
Please, Mr. Arif.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Upet. Based on your description, Mr. Sarul, so is it possible to implement your idea to to the people for integrating science and technology, science and Islam, not only for university, but also for academician like us? Thank you.
Okay. I think so. Can I answer Mr. Arif's
Yes,
question?
please, directly.
Okay. For scholar and for academic person, this paradigm can implement to our research maybe. So, example, Islamic science will be object of research, and Mr. Ive is economic science. Economic science will be methodology and perspective to research in Islamic science or reality of Islam. So maybe my object research example, reality of community development is social science, but I research with Islamic perspective. It's the dialogue of two science in the form paradigm, twin tower paradigm model. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shahrul, for your clarifications. And then I will let one more questions if you have anyone. We still have 1 minute left.
1 minute.
Yeah. Or enough.
Well,
Okay.
I think it's enough. Okay. So you
Okay,
can
thank
change.
you very much. If there is no more questions, I think this is the first sessions. Okay, we'll appreciate once more to Mr. Shahrul for this presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for imperfection for me.
Thank you. Good job.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Next is my turn. So who will be the host moderator? Mr. Shahrul, please.
Mr. Sarul.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the seminar of research entitled Islam Love. No. I'm sorry.
Okay, you can
Islamic.
close your PPT first.
Yes.
Sorry.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the seminar of research entitled The Part of Loving Islam Modern Sufis of Haidar Bagir. Let me introduce myself. My name is Saharul Ramadan, and I will be serving as your moderator today. First of all, I would like to thank to Miss Fitri, Miss Liz, Miss Seha, Mr. Arif, Mr. Ahmad, and all audience. Thank you for joining this seminar, PhD seminar, Mustafa International University. And now I would like to invite Mr. Ubed to present his research or his paper. So to Mr. Ubed, time is yours.
Okay. Sorry. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, very
Right.
clearly.
Okay. Wait. Thank you very much, Mr. Sahrul. It's my pleasure to be here to present my topic, my ideas, so I can share my research topic. I think so. Sorry, I can wait. I can see my presentation. Wait. I got problem with the laptop. It's not. Well, sorry. It's the problem.
Okay, maybe Mr. Arif can
No,
help
no, no.
you to share your PPT.
You can see my PowerPoint.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I see.
I get the problem. I stop first. Sorry.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will
You
start.
can start from.
Yes, I will restart. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you again, Mr. Sahrul, for letting me to present my topic. I will talk shortly because we have limited time. My topic is the path of loving Islam, modern Sufism of Haidar Bakir. I prepared this topic actually last week in Mr. Dr. Hussein Mutaki class. Yeah, but I had no chance to present this topic, and I'm happy today, so I can present this topic. Um, I will investigate the idea and the thoughts of Mr. Haidar Bagir. I think everyone is familiar or know this person because this he is very popular in Indonesian intellectual world. Yeah, and for introduction, Mr. Haidar Bagir, I think he is well known as the he's a businessman, he is intellectual thinker, Muslim thinker, and also he is professional, media professional, social activist, and also he is a philanthropist. Yeah. Um, he was born in Solo, Central Java, and he is father of 4 children. He is undergraduate. He got undergraduate from Institute of Technology Bandung, Bandung Institute of Technology in Industrial Engineer, and then he continue uh, his graduates in Islamic philosophy, firstly in UIN Jakarta, but then he got the scholarship to to pursue more to pursue his graduate studies in Islamic philosophy in the Indiana in Harvard University, and he has award from the Fulbright. Yeah, and then I think everyone's know about this person. Haidar also got some award or some distinguished achievements in professional and also in his educations. One of the award is he was listed as one of 500 influential Muslim in the world from 2009 to 2020, and then he got award also as best CEO from the Indonesian Association of the Publisher. And then also he in 2008, 18, he got also Global Business and Enterprise Peace Award from global one of global associations, I guess. So from this story, from his life story, educational background, and achievements and award, I think Mr. Haidar Bagir, we know that he his thoughts, his landscape of thoughts, so wide, yeah, from the philosophy, from the and then Islamic philosophy, and then to ethics, and then to educations and management, because he served as thinker and also as businessman, also philanthropist and social activist. From the intellectual journey of Haidar Bagir, I think we may consider his thoughts from rationalism to Sufi or to Sufism or to Tasawwuf. From the story of his intellectual journey, he had insight from Muslim thinkers, famous Muslim thinkers such as Muhammad Iqbal, Al-Farabi, Al-Ghazali, Ibn Arabi, Mullah Sadra, and the last and most influential thinker of to Mr. Haidar Bagir is Jalaluddin Rumi, who is well known as the mystical guru or great guru of Sufism or Tasawwuf in Islamic history. And also he got some so wide insight from the Western philosopher like Heidegger, Nietzsche, Immanuel Kant, and so on, etc., etc. So many thinkers. And from those thinkers, I conclude, or I think that he is very capable in comparative views between Western tradition in philosophy and Islamic philosophy, particularly in Islamic or in Islamic mysticisms or tasawwuf. And from his journey of intellectual or and readings of philosophy in particular, I see and I found also that Haidar Bagir then reveal that rationalisms and spirituality met in the spirit of love as the heart of Islamic teaching called Rahmah, which is a prophetic concept of Semitic tradition or Abrahamic religions. And from the history of his educations, also I found that as a young Haidar, when he was a student of ITB, Industrial Engineering, so I think he was very familiar with the rationalistic traditions, yeah, because we know that technology is part of the empiricism, positivism that mostly based on rationalistic path or rationalism. So, but once when he was student at the ITB, he felt in love in Sufism or in religious investigations, particularly in spiritual journey. Um, he said that when he was student at the ITB, he was activist in Salman, a mosque of ITB campus, and then he got in some dialogue and so also religious activism in that mosque. And once he found many books of Islamic philosophy or Islamic thoughts in library of Salman Mosque. And then from that moment, he then went to search or investigate more on Islamic philosophy. And then after he graduated from the ITB, he continued and he pursued he took Islamic philosophy in IAIN Jakarta. And then from the based on his intellectual journey, his reading and his investigations of some religious or Islamic thoughts, and then he believed then that path of loving Islam, Rahmah, the core of or the heart of Islamic teaching, is a cure of psychological disease due to modern lifestyle. He found and he concluded that tasawwuf or Sufism is something like cure, something like something like what do
Medicine.
we say?
Medicine.
Not medicine, but yeah, something like a cure of the disease because of modern lifestyle. Yeah, because of modern style. For instance, in particular from the psychological disease, something like loneliness, alienations, and so on and so on. So he offered and he conclude that tasawwuf or Sufism, which is path of life, spiritual life, will be a cure of modern psychological disease. And the interesting one, the idea of path of loving Islam, the idea of loving Islam or in Indonesia, he called it as the mazhab, mazhab Islam Cinta, path of loving Islam. He applied and he practiced it in his daily activities, even in his business, in his social activities, in his philanthropy activities, and so on and so on. And one more, the interesting one is that he, beside apply this path, also he promote to many people, to people around him, and to public, to audience, and he initiated the path of loving Islam as the movement, social movement. In 2012, I guess, he initiated the path of loving Islam as a social movement to Indonesian community, or to Indonesian citizen, even to the world. The last one, I will quote one of the speech of Rumi, who is the person or the master or great guru of Islamic Sufism, and also most influential person to the thoughts of Haidar Bagir. Don't feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. I think everyone who read and find thoughts of Rumi will fall in love with the speech of Rumi. This is that's all my presentations. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you, Mr. Ubat. That was the presentation by Mr. Ubat about Haidar Bagir. So, and now we're going to the next session, which is discussion or question section. So, from audience, please, if you have a question to Mr. Ubed.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Mr. Ubed.
Okay.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Great,
All right.
Yes, you can.
Thank you, Mr. Ubed. Can you show us again the first page, the first line in your title? All right. The Path of Loving Islam, Modern Sufism of Haidar Bagir. Okay. The title is very interesting, and I know Mr. Haidar well. Okay, he is a great writer too, and he is a Muslim intellectual, yeah, or academician. All right, from the title, Modern Sufism. So can you tell me about what do you mean by modern Sufism? Because if you said that modern Sufism, as if that there is another Sufism like traditional Sufism, right? So I mean, what characteristic? Why do you say that there is modern Sufism? Because Sufism, I think Sufism is like you go to the path, the original one, or the source, okay, something like that. But when you say modern Sufism, so I think as if that there is another word, or the apa, the opposite of modern Sufism, and it is traditional Sufism. So can you tell me about this?
Okay, thank you, Miss Fitri. To Mr. Ubed, please answer the question.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Fitri, for the questions. I know that this term, modern Sufism, may be misleading for some, yeah. But what I mean with modern Sufism is the practice of Sufism and the teaching of Sufism or Tasawwuf that rise or emerge in urban or in the
modern
cities.
society. Okay.
yeah, in urban societies. Is differ from the practice of Sufism or Tasawwuf, belongs to, let's say, traditional, which is practiced by community of traditional, like in pesantren, which is well known as tarekat. Because mostly of path of tarekat or kind of Sufism that is practiced in traditional Islamic boarding school, pesantren, for instance, um, it's much more traditional. I mean, it's much more, yeah, it's much more, I would say, traditional because relied on traditional traditional ways
Traditional teachings of Islam.
traditional ways, not teaching. I think the teaching is quite the same.
Oh, I see. All right, all
Yeah,
right.
the
The
teaching is
methods,
quite the
okay.
same.
The
Yeah,
methods, yeah.
the
The
methods
methods
and the
for,
way.
okay.
Something like by practicing music, traditional music, and then many, many, something like, I would say apa ya, semacam like tahlilan, and so on and so on, and dance, and also I found in some Islamic boarding school in traditional, they gather every month, every week, or once in a week, and then they practice some traditional way of tasawuf or Sufi.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
very
thank
much.
you, Mr. Ubed. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ubed, for the answer. Okay, maybe I think enough this
Session.
seminar. Finally, we come to the last session of this seminar. Thank you for the speaker, Miss, and also thank you to all audience.
Welcome, thank you.
Okay. Give applause
Assalamualaikum
to,
warahmatullahi
okay, give
wabarakatuh.
applause to Mr. Ubed and
Waalaikumsalam.
Mr. Safrul. Good job. Well done.
Sarul and Mr. Ubed. Well done.
Give applause.
All right. Okay, thank you, guys. Now we are going to, okay, we move to the second session.
Yes.
Okay, please, second session. Miss Alicia and
Uh,
Miss
and
Alice and Mr.
Ustad
Ahmad.
Hafiz. Yes. Ustad
Okay,
Hafiz.
Mr. Hafiz.
Ustad
Okay,
Hafiz,
Mr. Hafiz, are you ready?
are you ready?
Insyaallah.
Insya Allah.
Alhamdulillah.
Ya, tegang ini Ustaz Hafid.
Sama.
Sama tegangnya, Tat.
Ini
Okay.
saya deg-degan ini Bu, nggak bisa bahasa Inggris, suruh ngomong bahasa Inggris.
Minum Ustad, minum.
Santai Pak, santai Pak.
Okay, I will be the
Ini saya ngerasa
moderator.
di prank ini.
Alright. Okay, please.
Ya, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Welcome to this seminar of what this seminar is? PhD seminar, apa ini namanya? Okay. Now let me introduce myself. My name is Fatima, and I will serving you as your moderator today. First of all, I'd like to thank to Miss Fitri, and I'd like to thank to Ustad Hafid to be as a speaker, and Mr. Hafid entitled to the seminar about the what the title, Mr. Hafid? I don't know, but and on, I'd like to invite Mr. Ustad Habib to present his proposal or his present to article. And so, please, Mr. Habib, time is yours.
Bingung mau ngomong apa. Oke.
Silahkan.
Good morning.
Bentar ya.
Good morning.
Bentar dulu.
Iya, tapi kan itu background. Ini acaranya kan tanpa makan warna.
Ya.
You have 1 minute, Ustad Habib? Okay.
Belakangnya nggak satu warna.
Share anu ya, share.
Share screen.
Screen share.
Ya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Hafid Akaf. Since the first, I tend to study the verses of the Quran and then compare them with the real life we live. I'm glad to have the opportunity to talk to you about a topic that I think is important today. Let me start with a history that happened to me when I was still studying at the Islamic boarding school we call pesantren. I found verses in the Quran about the Prophet Muhammad that mentioned that our Prophet Muhammad was a man who could not read and write. Therefore, I wonder, it is true, or maybe this is a mistake of a group of scholars who think so. From there, I was involved in a warm, scientific, and prolonged discussion with several of my friends. We opened many books, we study, and we discuss. The topic I want to discuss today is the discussion. Namely, it is true that our Prophet was an ummi. That is, he could either read nor write. Here are some opinions expressed by the ulama. I will divide this discussion into 3 parts. The first is to explain the existing opinion. The following is the argument, and the second is the existing objection, and the third is the conclusion that can be drawn. So from that, I say that in this matter there are at least 2 opinions. The first opinion is that our Prophet Muhammad could not read and could not write. The argument is the verses of the Quran that mention the phrase An-Nabiyul Ummi, or mention the nation where the Prophet was born and resurrected. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم. The next reason is because the Arabs do not know how to read and write, and not being able to read and not being able to write was not a deficiency or a disgrace to anyone for the Arabs at the time. The second opinion believes that the Prophet Muhammad could read and could write. The reason is, firstly, because it is impossible for the Prophet to order these people to learn to read and write while he cannot do it. Second, people who can read and can write must be more perfect than those who cannot. And it is impossible for anyone to be better than the Prophet Muhammad, while at the time there were many people who could read and could write. Third, the verses of the Quran suggest that the Prophet Ummi actually cannot be interpreted that he can read and can write. Ummi is very likely attribute to Ummul Qura, which is another name for the city of Mecca. Okay. From this to opinion, we must conclude a view that on the one hand accommodates the verses of the Quran, and on the one hand safeguard to glory of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is undeniable that one of the meanings of Ummi is that he cannot read and cannot write. And Allah called the Prophet Muhammad an-Nabi al-Ummi and called his people as Ummi. In fact, the people of Mecca generally cannot read and cannot write. However, if we attribute the term Ummi to the Prophet Muhammad at this time, then it will be a shortcoming for him. We can accept an action that demands our Prophet. Therefore, we must interpret the word Ummi with another meaning. However, on the other hand, there is no historical evidence that the Prophet could read and write. Looking at this two sides of the arguments, the opinion I can convey is that we believe that the Prophet never read and never wrote, but the Prophet is not unable to read and not being able to write. Is a clear difference. Is a clear difference between not being able to do something and never doing something. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ustad Hafid. That was the presentation by Mr. Hafid Alkaf. And now we are going to the next session, which is discussion or questions.
I hope no question.
Yes, please, audience. So, is there any questions? Okay, Mr. Arif.
Yes. To Ustad or Mr. Hafid.
Cuma.
I have one question for you. You say that Ummi in your presentation. Ummi means Rasulullah cannot read or cannot read. Was it a characteristic? but why he can he can explain if you say or if the people mention that
Can her.
the Prophet Rasulullah is Ummi. Yeah, thank you.
Suaranya terlalu kecil, nggak kedengeran?
Oh, Mr. Arif, can you repeat your question, please?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I repeat again. Ustaz David said that Rasulullah is Ummi, but why he can explain us very well about Quran if he cannot read was it cannot read characteristic or it cannot read the characters. Maksudnya, ini Ustaz David, Rasulullah kan Ummi, tapi kenapa kok bisa menjelaskan Quran dengan baik?
Yes. It's different between nggak keluar ya bahasa Inggrisnya.
Bahasa Indonesia aja, Ustaz.
Yeah. We can find the people they can read and can write, but he have many of knowledge. This is a fact. Rasulullah Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have many of knowledge from God, but nggak keluar.
Apa dah? Dipaksa.
Intinya itu kalau Nabi itu dapat ilmu tidak harus dengan membaca dan menulis.
Yeah. I agree with Mr. Ahmad. Okay.
The prophet don't have to.
Add the comments, yeah. I can add the comments for the answer of Mr. Ahmad, because Rasulullah doesn't have knowledge like us, like a humans. Okay, he already have the knowledge from God directly from God gitu.
Yeah,
right,
directly.
Mr. Ahmad? Okay.
Yes, that's right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you very much. Is there any questions from audience? Oh, so no, there is no question. Okay. Finally, alhamdulillah, finally we come to the last session of this seminar. Thank you for the speakers, and also thank you to the all audience for your participation. Please give applause to Mr. Hafid
Good job
for the great presentations. Okay. The next session.
Okay. Next session.
Please.
Giliran saya undang Bu Edis gitu ya.
Will be a moderator.
Giliran Ustaz.
Yeah. Oh gitu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation in this meeting. In this morning, we will apa ngundang itu apa ya? Invite Mr. Liz Fatima for Miss Fatima for presentation for present her article or her topic for discussion. تفضلوا.
تفضل. I will share my screen, but please stop your screen. Ustaz Alkaf
Already
already.
stopped. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Arif, can you help me to share my screen?
Okay. Wait a minute. I will help you. Which one?
Udah nggak usah. Udah nggak usah.
Human existence.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Wait a minute. I will download first. And now I got it. Mana ya? Oh, ada. Sebentar. Okay, share now. Okay, ready?
Okay. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. My name is Fatima. I'm a student from Mustafa Opening University. It is good to be here today, and I'd like to deliver my article. I have the title of my presentation is The Human Existence in Philosophical Analysis. I made it just one day. I'm so sorry if there is some. Okay, let me start this presentation by the questions. I began the paper with the fundamental questions. Is there a human being without humanity? So where's the relevance of human existence today in the midst of humanity crisis? So, and my question that then is, what is the crisis of the humanity, and what is the human existence? I think so many things can be the causes of the crisis of the human values. I call it the humanization or the human crisis. But I think that one of the crisis is the loss of freedom or independence, and the consciousness, I think. So, uh, in this topic, I have divided my talk into first, my point is a crisis of human existence, and the second is what is the definition of the human existence and what the underlines human existence and what are supporting factors so that humans can avoid the humanitarian crisis. And my aim in this presentation is asking you to understand the basis of the human existence, and then we can get the meaning of our life then. Okay. I'd like to the next step. Firstly, there's the question from me: how to depict the human crisis? Can you imagine if the human life without freedom, uh, maybe acting or thinking? Of course, your life will be like prisoner. I think a prisoner, but even though there is no limited space, we can realize or not, we are a prisoner. The prisoner is his life is controlled by something outside of him, I think. Maybe some routines like the something can be in the form of an individual, institution, group, ecocentric, material, social position, and so on and so on. The power of control is like this is the something outside it, the self, and this is causes the human self to be alienated from himself, I think. And then we can get the impact of the alienation will be causes human not to recognize their existence. So there's no more space and attention aimed to entering into self. This is where the existential crisis occurs, I think. So if uh, when if freedom is taken away, there will be various forms of the operations like violence, harassment, coercion, injustice, human domination, and conflict of interest. So there is a phenomenon that we can openly experience it and witness it anywhere. So there is no longer any appreciation for the great human values. Uh, the secondly, I would like to say that if we understanding to the concept of the self or the human existence or the humanity, uh, I think we can get a good self-concept that we can lead to the more meaningful human life. And next, I would like to say that human is nothing without the freedom, because the human freedom is the nature of their own creation since born. The human being can choose how to exist to form their own essence or humanity. So it is what distinguishes human with things or other creators. We are human being, which is a being that will produce the essence of our humanity. So let's now, I will look to the topic. According to existentialist philosophers, uh, and their concern with the topic, generally existentialism focusing on the we call the human situation. I want to take some example to thinking of the one existentialist. There's Jean-Paul Sartre in in this session. Sartre, like most existential philosophers, argue that existence precedes or prior than the essence. What does it mean? In the content of human existence is precedes human essence, meaning that this existential affirmation is intended that human existence cannot be explained like other existence outside humans, such as such as things or objects, another object who already known and determined. For example, when we see an object such as knife, then we can come to our mind that the essence of the knife is to cut something. But in the contrast, when we meet some people or humans, we cannot spontaneously know or determine whether this person is good or bad. Okay. Uh, I'd like to say that the essence of thing, as I mentioned above, can be understood and determined by their essence. But the essence of humans cannot be determined because uh, they do not have an innate essence. And according to this, Sartre said that the essence of human is so absurd. What does it mean? Humans do not have the original nature, and humans are not finished product or finished creator. Humans have evolved, evolution, and everything has been figured out except how to live, Sartre said. Sartre said that man will only get his essence from his own existence, and that is from the way he organized himself. So, how to explain this? Furthermore, the human existence is a way of being human. And we can say that human existence is being becoming, because we are humans will continue to be from time to time. A good self or vice versa depends on the way he exists. If he exists in a good way, then his Zen is a good self and vice versa. If every day someone lies, then his nature is himself is liar. So a person in the authenticity is very dependent on his daily behavior, I think. In other words, the essence of man is built by his existence. Man does not carry value, but the value of human self is formed by himself simultaneously. Okay. Uh, Sartre said that man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. So this is where it shows the degree of man. The degree of man is solely formed by what he has formed himself. This degree is degree. This is higher than the other creatures. Besides, because humans do not have a predetermined nature, humans have what is called the freedom to realize their own essence. In addition to these questions, uh, how do the humans to form their essence? In the process of formations, humans will face what Sartre calls facticity. Facticity is a facts that humans face. Yes, facticity is included. We call the others or other people, death, place, and environment. There is a fourth thing act as containers, what will have an effect in shaping a person's self. Existentialist philosophers interpret this as a being thrown out. In the fact is surrounding of human life. We cannot include it, but if we face it, we can control the facticity, and we can manipulate it, this facticity. And existentialist philosophy says that fights again fights against facticity. This is very difficult problem that we face the facticity. So the question then, how to fight the facticity. Um, one thing we have to remember that human have consciousness. Yes, what is the consciousness? Human human are creators who have consciousness. It is different from outside of human. Human are the only creators who are aware to their existence, while the other existence do not conscious. But the other existence, I think, or things will also awaken human consciousness. Human build their identity through the situation they experience. Sartre devised two type of human consciousness. One, first is a pre-reflective consciousness. Is something we call this is direct awareness. Awareness is directly on the object, spontaneous, for example, daily routines, and like this we have first intention, it is a pre-reflective consciousness, and second, the reflective awareness or the reflective consciousness is awareness that makes unconscious awareness into conscious awareness, reflecting on the events and have happened. So so where is your position right now? I think the philosopher have this awareness. So, I mean reflective awareness. In Islamic terms, we call muhasabah. Yes, reflective awareness can build human existence. Yes, not pre-reflective, but reflective awareness. Yes, can build the human existence, and he can design her life, change her life, and create revolution. Existentialists claim that let's be owners and our reflections. Furthermore, Sartre explained that human consciously lead human to two types. être and soy and être pour soi. In a French, apa ini? Ejaan Prancis ya. Être also is mean where is the existence is very full. Yes, essence is very full. But être pour soi is kosong, apa namanya? Have to be filled, formed and developed. And the human into être pour soi. And
Excuse me, Miss
yes,
Fatima.
okay,
I think time is up.
over.
Okay.
Just 1 second, okay. One thing I have to tell you that human have freedom. Freedom is very important. Yes, because freedom is the one, the origin of human has. And if someone have no freedom, he will can to be a human existence as is. Okay, thank you. There's some concluding from me. One, existence is the typical of way of being human, and only human will exist. Two, second, existence must be interpreted dynamically. Existence means creating oneself actively. Existence is mean doing, planning, being, and extra. And in existentialism philosophy, man, is an unfinished reality, and which still has no form in essence humans in the world around them, especially to fellow humans. And concrete emphasis in this paper is on the human have to has existential experience to develop her existence. That's all my presentation, and I will be glad to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Fatima. And we can anybody want to ask or comment this the presentation from Miss Fatima? Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Hafid, I have questions.
Yeah. You can ask.
Well,
Directly.
thank you. Thank you very much. My question goes to Miss Fatima. Okay. This is interesting topic, I guess. And when we talk about the freedom, generally speaking, we will go to the classical debate between free will and predestination from the perspective of existentialism, or for those who in existential philosophy, that human freedom is everything. So there is no chance to let's say power out of human intervenes to human freedom. So the questions is always raised or image in this discussion, in this debate, is how much I mean how far human have free the real freedom, and when or how far the let's say God has the power to intervene the human freedom. This is the classical debate. What would we say in Arab between Qadar dan Qadar? Thank you, Miss Fatima.
I have to directly answer.
Yes.
I think it is very interesting questions, and my capacity in this topic is
Happy, very happy.
the view or regarding to existentialist philosopher, not theologian.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Very well. There is a really two different answer, I think. In the regarding to existentialist, the freedom is very apa berharga itu apa?
Valuable. Very
Valuable. Yeah, valuable. Because like a sword, in this session we use a short thought. There is no good in there is no good in our life. So God is not God. Others is a hell. Ya, orang lain itu seperti neraka kata Sartre. Ya, and God is selalu mengintip. Apa? Mengintip bahasa Inggrisnya?
Labil
Mengintip.
mirsad.
Ya, mengintip kehidupan kita dan ini apa namanya? Mengurangi kebebasan. Jadi yang diinginkan oleh existentialist, ya, a real freedom, yes, what we call humanism existentialist, ya, existentialist humanistic, yang it is different from before, ya, before thought that human have to live in apa nilai-nilai yang agung, Jadi human itu ya great values, but in existentialism human ya bisa secara bebas dia hidup, membentuk dirinya, ya form his essence karena belum berhenti. Jadi human is not produce creator, but he can be coming to produce her essence. But I think I have the positive, not the negative to take of this thinking, of this thought, that we can be ourselves as is it. Gitu. Jadi kita bisa mengambil hal positif saja dari Sartre ini tanpa harus mengambil yang lain. Jadi Sartre ingin mengajarkan bahwa we have to be ourselves. Jadi kita harus menjadi diri kita sendiri. And go to hell others, go to hell God. But in our religion, it is not true, of course, because and in my positive thinking, we have to be nice with others. Karena kalau tidak be nice dengan others will be hell for us. Gitu. Jadi, it is a existential perspective, not my perspective. Thank you, Mr. Obed.
Thank you for the clarification.
Any question? Another question or comment?
Time's up, Mister.
No, enough.
Okay. Finally, we give Miss Fatima applause.
All right, yay. Good job. Well done, Miss.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your participation, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah kelar.
Okay, thank you. And now we move to our third session. Sesi yang ketiga ya. Okay, please. Mr. Arif and Miss Sheha. Miss Sheha, are you there?
Yes.
All right.
Hi there.
So who will present first, Ms. Seha? I will be a host. Or...
I don't know.
Okay, I will be the host first. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And good afternoon for everyone. For today, we will have one presentation, or we will have a special presentation from Ms. Seha. And so, of course, for me, I'm Arif, getting another position to be your host in this seminar. And Ms. Seha will present the good article. The title is Rational Freedom. And we will discuss with her after she presents her article. So please, Ms. Seha, time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Arif. First, I'm sorry, I cannot open my video.
Okay,
It's all right.
Now I like radio presentation.
You are free, Miss Seha.
Yes.
It's all right.
Okay. Sorry, I asked permission not to open the video because I am still learning to speak in public. I try step by step.
Okay, no problem. No problem, Miss Eha. Take your
Okay,
time.
thank you.
Bebas, bebas.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dear Dr. Fitri, brothers and sisters. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Seha binti Said Ali Al Idrus. I am a PhD student at Al Mustafa International University. I'm glad to be here. I'd like to discuss about our topic today is rational freedom. What is the mean by rational freedom? There are many meanings that have been laid out by scientists according to the pattern of thought that become the basis of their thinking. Here I propose three patterns of thought that describe the meaning of freedom. First, one, absolute freedom or without any limits. Of course, all sane humanists reject such a model of freedom because it will endanger the individual and social life of humans. The meaning too of freedom, freedoms that are limited by state laws and mutual agreements between humans. The three meaning of freedom, rational freedom refers to rational values that superhuman freedom to cause obedience to God Almighty in accordance with the nature of human creation by God. The Islamic view of freedom for rational human beings is given the two of man. It must be noted that the human body is limited and has its own needs. Hence, when we think of the concept and truth of freedom, we realize that freedom is a spiritual desire and tendency. That is, what wants to be free is the human soul, not his body. Okay, if we don't agree on this, then we can get the right result rationally to my presentation on this topic. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Arif.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your presentation. Yes,
You're welcome.
Ms. Seha, give applause to Ms. Seha for presenting. And now, the next session, now we have.
Okay, if there are comments,
welcome. Yes, of course. So now the audience from our seminar. can give Al-Idrus. Okay. Yes, Miss Liz Fatima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't follow what you said about the definition of freedom in your paper.
Yes, rational freedom.
Absolutely, yes. Rational freedom. What is the rational freedom mean?
Rational freedom rational freedom is freedom for humanity in the created of God. Yang dimaksud dengan rational freedom adalah kebebasan yang mengarah kepada hanya persembahan kepada Allah saja. Semua ikatan dilepaskan. Okay? This
Thank you
the
very
meaning
much
of freedom.
for your
Thank
explain.
you for Miss.
Okay, thank you, Miss Fatima, for your question, and also for Miss Seha to give answer the first question. Okay, the next question maybe from another audience, maybe from Mr. Sarul or yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Seha. Okay, thank you, Mr. Arif.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Seha, let me ask you a question, just a simple question. What about you? Do you agree with rational freedom? Do you agree with rational freedom?
Yes, agree.
Agree. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Can you explain it why? Why do you agree with rational freedom?
Because we freedom natural freedom.
Natural freedom. Okay.
Yes.
And natural freedom is only for God.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know. I think I get your point. All right. Thank you, Ms. Seha.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. We still have maybe around 5 minutes. Still 2 to 5 minutes for question. Maybe another question from others. Or is it enough?
I think enough for
Okay.
you. For your time.
All right.
Yes,
If there is no question, I
Again,
think it's enough.
if you have no question again for Ms. Seha, and I think the time is over. Thank you so much for Ms. Seha Litrus to give our great for the great presentation, and also for the participation from all audience. And thank you so much all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Applause.
Applause.
Yeah,
Okay,
applause.
applause for me. Okay.
Okay. Next, my time and moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the international seminar on research proposal entitled by Mr. Arif Firmansyah. Let me introduce myself. My name is Seha binti Ali Al-Idrus and will be your moderator today. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Arif, who is willing to attend as a speaker in this seminar, and all present. Thank you for attending this seminar. And now I would like to invite Mr. Arif Firmansyah to present his proposal. So time and place are welcome for you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Seha Litrus. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ladies and gentlemen, now this is my session to present my notion or my ideas about this course of modern economic system, and I will present my PowerPoint here. Wait a minute, I will share here. Yeah. The title of my paper is A Discourse of Modern Economic System. I will describe for this presentation into three sessions. The first session is introduction. The second session will talking about discussion. Talking about what kind of modern economic system in the modern world, and the last we will summarize into conclusion. So I'm Arif Firmansyah here. I will present in a doctoral seminar today. And for the first introduction here, as we know, at the beginning of the 20th century, the world was divided into two major blocks. The first block is the Western block, and the second block is the Eastern one. And we know that the Western block consists of the countries in Europe, especially in the Western Europe, and also in the North American, like Canada, United States, France, England, and others. And we know that the Western bloc adopted the principles of capitalism as its economic and political system in their countries. In the other hand, we know there is Eastern Bloc. Eastern Bloc was initiated by the Eastern countries like Uni Soviet and also Eastern Europe, in the South American, and most of in the African continental. And we know that the Eastern Bloc was adopting socialism as the antithesis of capitalism. And this system, or this socialism, was developed as a political and economic system for Eastern countries. And as we know that Western Bloc and Eastern Bloc, they have their own systems, capitalism and socialism. And as we know that, according to Syed Bakr Sadr, there are at least three main principles here in the world's economic system. The first principle is dual ownership, means ownership belonging to state and also individual citizen. And the second principle is limited freedom. And the last principle is social justice. And furthermore, Syed Bakr Sadr tried to explain about socialism and capitalism as the opposite of Islam as economic system. In the term of ownership, the economic system of socialism emphasizes on state ownership to regulate production and distribution. And as we know that, so there is no individual ownership to all citizens for regulating or for arranging economic activities in their own countries. And the other hand, as we know that capitalism as an economic system adopted by Western countries focusing on individual ownership and does not require state intervention in the production and distribution process. Capitalism focuses on the scarcity issues. So regarding to scarcity issues, every citizen must fulfill their own necessities, and they cannot rely on or depend on the state for fulfilling their own necessities in their own life. And after describing about capitalism and socialism, Syed Bakr Sadr proposed Islam as economic system. Islam described three types of ownership to solve the problems of production and distribution. There are three kinds of ownership here. the first ownership is individual ownership. It means that every citizens in their own countries can fulfill their economic needs or their necessities, primary necessities, secondary necessities, and tertiary necessities by utilizing natural resources permitted by the state. So, like us as a citizen in Indonesia, so we can run the business, from our neighborhood. And the second ownership is a state ownership. State ownership will regulate economic resources to generate state revenues and use them, state revenues for the community or for the people's prosperity. It is adjusted to our constitution in Undang-Undang Dasar 45, especially in chapter 33. And the last ownership is public ownership. Public ownership will allow natural resources that only controlled by cannot be controlled by individuals and must be managed by the state to meet citizen primary needs and build state infrastructure. So, in addition that, said Pak Sodar tried to explain, Islam is totally different with capitalism and socialism. Even though maybe some Muslim scholars say that inside of Islam we can find socialism. Also inside in Islam we can find capitalism. But according to Said Bakar Sodar, Islam totally differ from capitalism and socialism. So that's why in my conclusion here, Islam is more than just a religious doctrine, but also Islam is a beautiful way of life. It also has its own system, like political system, economic system, law system, and other systems. Especially for economic system in Islam, of course, Islam differs totally from capitalism and socialism because Islam can arrange everything ownership equally, and it has been able to alleviate poverty so far. So that's all in my presentation talking about modern economic system. And now I will give to Ms. Seha for leading question and answer session. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A good topic presentation and privileges a solution toward economic problems based on the views of Syed Bagir Sadr. This is the presentation of Mr. Arif. And now we go to the next session, which is question and answer. Welcome.
Sahrul.
Welcome, Mr.
Okay.
Sahrul.
Mr. Arif, many academics who have made or make thought and theory about Islamic socialism, but are there academics who have made thought and theory about Islamic capitalism or capitalism syar'i? Are there academic or no?
Is
Thank
that
you.
new term?
In Islamic
Is that new term?
socialism
Islamic
is
capitalism.
Cokra Minoto, Sabi'i, Hasan Hanafi, and many, and Sukarno maybe. But Islamic capitalism, I don't know. Are there or no? Capitalism syar'i. Maybe you can explain.
Yeah.
Question.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Arif, please answer this question.
I think still one question, Ms. Seha from Mr. Ubed.
Okay,
Please.
Mr. Ubed.
May I have questions?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you, Ms. Seha. A short question. I think, yes, what do we learn from Bakir Sadr? does he suggest an Islamic economy, or what kind of Islamic economy he suggests? And then because I think what if we talking about Islamic economy or Islamic finance, I think the most important thing is that Islamic economy is just another option of capitalism, which is based on Islamic ethics on business or Islamic ethic on finance. So I think the most important thing is there are ethical spirit. Ethical values that we have to be done in have to be practiced in doing business. That's all, Mr. Arif. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ubed. This answer this question, and any
The last
another.
question.
Okay, please
Yes.
welcome.
This is a interesting topic, I think, because it's only Mr. Arif, I think, this have this discipline, right? Yes. I just want to ask you your opinion. Okay, what do you think if in the context of Indonesia, do you think that we can do to realize the Islamic economic system implemented in Indonesia?
Okay, please,
Thank you.
Mr. Arif.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
thank you, Miss Liz. And go to the answer. Please, Mr. Arif, answer the questions.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Khan, also for the participant or audience gave me the great questions from Mr. Sarul talking, asking about Islamic capitalism. Is there any in Islam? And also Mr. Ubed talking about Islam is only maybe only ethical values to to be alternative for another system economic. And also from Ms. Fatima, my opinion about is it possible to implement Islam economic in Indonesia, right? Okay. The first question, Islamic capitalism. If we refer to Mr. Sarul said that Islamic socialism like Mr. Chokro Aminoto and also Hasan Hanafi and others. Maybe I think if I refer to Said Bakr Sodr, they said still talking about Islamic economic with social values, like Islam will alleviate poverty. Islam will struggle against poverty. Islam will delete poverty. So is it like socialism? But actually, based on Said Bakr Sodr, say that socialism is the opposite of Islam, especially for ownership or for production and distribution. So not only in a problem for poverty, but if we focus to production and distribution, so we will find social inequalities, even though in socialism countries. And what about Islamic capitalism? As Said Bakr Sodr said that I think there is no Islamic capitalism. Capitalism is capitalism. Islam is Islam. if someone try to explain Islamic capitalism, maybe they try to integrate between social capitalism problem in their country and try to solve with Islam partially. So that's why maybe after that he or she or they said this is Islamic capitalism, but I didn't find exactly for Muslim scholars to be a pioneer for Islamic capitalism. Okay, the first question, I hope I gave answer for the first question. And the second question to Mr. Upet, say that Islam is, maybe Islam is just alternative for capitalism and socialism because Islam is ethical values. Yes, I agree with Mr. Upet. Islam has many ethical values, but also Islam give the strong foundation for all the people to live in the right way with Islam, especially in economic activities also. And as we get explanation yesterday from Professor Hussein Mutaki that Islam can do or can minimize very hardly minimize poverty by like wakaf, zakat, sodako, and many revenues values to encourage the country or state for solving social problems. So I think Islam is not ethical values, but also Islam will give alternative solution for life system in every countries. And the last question from Miss Fatima: is it possible to implement Islamic economic? As I mentioned before, regarding to Undang-Undang Dasar 45, our principal constitution, especially in the chapter 33, I think our founding father has been putting Islamic values in this constitution, especially in chapter 33. So if we obey, or if the government, whoever government, from Sukarno till to President Joko Widodo, want to comply and implement chapter 33, so I think Islamic economic can be implemented very well in our countries. But maybe we still try to implement gradually, not totally.
Step by step, yeah.
Yes, step by step, maybe, inshallah. I think that's all.
Thank you.
My answer for 3 questions. Maybe still many weakness in my answer, but we hope we can get a solution from the question. Thank you for your questions, Ms. Fatima, Mr. Saru, and Mr. Obed. And I will return to the Sheikh Idrus. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good. Will we have come to the last session of this seminar? Thank you to the speaker, is Mr. Arif Firmansyah, and also thank you to all the audience for their participation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good job, well done. Okay, thank you for all. Yeah, thank you for your presentation. Yeah, for all of you. So look at you, you doing great job. Yeah.
Allah.
Tadinya nggak pede, nervous and so on, but you're here. You do your great job today. You present your paper, and Mr. Ahmad too, Ms. Seha, Miss Alice, and all the participants, all the speaker, you are great. Thank you. And look at you, you did it. Yay, you did it.
Belum pernah nih.
I think, okay, so can you tell me how long you prepare this? The
3
preparation?
days.
3 days. Okay, great.
1 week.
1 week. Okay. What about you, Mr. Ahmad, Mr. Hafid? How long you prepare
1
hour.
day.
1 hour.
this paper? 1 day, 1 hour,
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, thank you. And now you prove yourself that you can do it, yeah, that you can present your paper in English. And I think it's very good for warming up, maybe for practice, yeah, because if you are in PhD degree, the international seminar is a must. Itu harus ya, keharusan ya di ini, di apa, di program PhD manapun gitu. Karena kalau sudah PhD itu dianggap bahwa Anda sudah capable untuk menguasai materi Anda, and you must present, you must share your ideas with other people gitu. Okay, thank you. Well, I think this is our last meeting, our last session, and biasanya makan-makan ya. Biasanya apa, syukuran ya, makan-makan
Yeah.
gitu.
Yes,
Makan
ma'am.
siang.
Makan siang, oke. Langsung.
Pak Dhani yang menyiapkan makanan, men.
Pak Dhani ada ya?
Enggak ada. Padahal ada, nggak ada ya. Okay, and thank you so much for your participation, for your ini ya, yeah, for your discussing and so on. All right. I hope all of you are success in your study. And
Amin.
for the result of atau the score, nanti nilainya nanti saya kirimkan ke Mr. Dani ya. But
Bisa
don't
dinilai,
worry,
Miss.
don't worry, everyone is doing great job. Well done for you.
Amin,
It did
alhamdulillah.
surprise me. I'm so happy to see you. Okay. That's finally you are doing a great job. Yeah, look at you. You can present your paper in a good way. Okay.
It is
Thank you.
hard for
And
me.
any comments for ada comments nggak? Any comments for
No,
our
yeah. My just question, Miss.
Okay, go ahead, Mr.
Just question. Any more spare time to submit the last exercises? I have missed.
Oh,
I
okay.
missed 2 exercises.
Okay. All right. Don't worry
So
about that.
it will be good to if you give us more time, maybe a week.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Sibuk.
okay, maybe I'll ask to Master Dani.
Pak dosen sibuk ya, Pak dosen ya.
Ya. Tapi ini ya, untuk yang apa, paper, for the paper and PPT, please send in the group. Ya, Mr. Ubed belum bisa di grup tadi. Oh, tadi udah ya di chat ya. Mr. Ahmad, can you share your PPT and your paper ya? In a group ya. Mr. Ahmad yang belum tadi. Okay, Mr. Ubed tadi sudah.
Say
Mr. Eka sudah.
goodbye.
Okay.
Paper yang mana nih?
Yang
PPT.
barusan, yang
PPT.
Presentasikan, Ustaz.
Yang barusan.
Iya,
Satu
barusan.
halaman.
PPT-nya belum ya, Mr. Ahmad?
Yang barusan ini.
Iya.
Oh. Malu
Ya,
saya Bu
PPT-nya
ngasihnya.
Sudah
Bagus Ustaz
terlanjur,
itu.
sudah terlanjur di share ya.
Bagus
Setelah
topiknya bagus.
Oke.
Topiknya yang bagus, bahasanya acak kadut.
Alright. Okay,
Bagus
thank you.
juga.
Thank you for your attention and your participation, and please forgive me if there is some mistake from me ya. And nice to see you
Sama-sama,
all,
Miss.
and thank you, and see you next time. Okay, maybe next time ya.
Insya Allah.
Kalau kita diketemukan.
Kalau di luar kelas ini bisa ganggu Bu Fitri nggak? Nanya-nanya misalnya bahasa Inggris.
Bisa banget.
Bisa ya?
Bisa. Wani piro,
Apalagi
Pak? Wani
kalau
piro.
bawain itu kurma. Bawain kurma.
Wani piro kata orang. Enggak, no, just kidding ya. Just kidding. Boleh. Okay. Especially for MAU Sadra ya. Sorry. Mustafa ya. Okay. Especially for this class. Okay. Please. Okay. If you want to discuss something with me, or we have a group discussing something topic, I think it's very good for me too, because I can also learn from you ya. Misalnya saya bisa belajar juga, kita saling take and give. Take and give or give and take. Oke. Silakan. Oke, silakan. Atau grupnya nanti diganti bukan kelas, misalnya grup apa gitu ya. Bisa.
Oh yeah,
Grup
English
alumni
club.
kelas.
English club bisa,
English
Miss.
class is okay. It's
English
alright.
club.
Silakan.
English
Welcome.
club.
Welcome.
Yes.
Oke. Oke, supaya silaturahmi kita jangan terputus ya. Kan sudah ada media WA. Well, okay, thank you for everything. Thank you for all of you. And Miss Seha,
Yes.
okay, can you you can open your video ya? Kita foto akhir sesi dong. Akhir sesi
Okay.
ini. Oke, sebagai kenang-kenangan. Nah, ini nanti juga Mr. Arif direkam kan? Direkam ya?
Yes.
Oke,
Yes.
itu sebagai kenang-kenangan kita semuanya. Oke, yay, Miss
This
Seha.
one looking
Finally you there. Finally you here. Alright. Oke, now. Oke, siapa yang mau moto nih? Mr. Arif boleh?
Okay.
Mr. Arif, oke, can you?
Okay. Now we can
Smile.
start 3, 2,
Smile, gini semuanya
1,
dong.
cheese,
Gini semuanya.
smile. Okay, Ken. Thank
Yes.
you.
Sukses semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Miss Fitria.
Oke,
Terima kasih semuanya.